The underlying theme of all the readings today is that of faith. I'm sure you all know that already. What I want to do is first make a couple points about what faith is not. What faith is not. First of all, faith is not believing in our minds intellectually in doctrines and dogmas. In a little while, we're going to pray we call it the profession of faith. Today, again, we're using the Apostles' Creed. But those beliefs and doctrines and dogmas, that's not faith. If I think of it, I'll mention it again. It's only when we put those things into action that it becomes faith. And faith is not praying, trying to manipulate God, bargain with God. That's not faith. And we get that impression from the scriptures. You know, Jesus said if you had the faith the size of a mustard seed, you could say to this mountain, move over there, and it would be done. And it implies that when we pray for things and we don't get them, that somehow we didn't pray correctly or we didn't have enough faith. Because prayer is not, as I said, trying to get God to do something. Prayer is not magic. Read a story about two boys went into a drug. One boy said to another boy, "You want to see some magic?" So they went into a drugstore. They walked around. They came out, and the other boy said, "Nothing happened." He said, "Sure it did." He pulled out 3 candy bars from the pocket that he had picked up walking around the store. The other boy said, "You want to really see some magic?" They went into the store and they went up to the counter where the person was standing, and the other boy said, "Can I have a candy bar?" Gave it to him, he ate it. "Can I have another candy bar?" Took it, ate it. Another candy bar, took it and ate it. And the other boy says, "That's not magic." But he says to the owner of the store, "Check this guy's pockets, the 3 candy bars are there." You can't do that with God. Prayer is not magic. Prayer is not trying to manipulate God. Prayer is not bargaining with God. That's not faith. Now I'm going to switch gears and try to explain a little bit of what faith is. Because the second reading started out with, faith is the assurance of things hoped for and the conviction of things not seen. So faith is believing in things you can't prove and you cannot see. I always start by looking at the past. Look at the past in your life. Did you ever encounter difficulties, hardships, dark spots, difficulties? And I'm guessing that we all have. If you've never had those, you're blessed. But being human, most of us have those things. But you look in the past, and as you were going through them, you might have thought, I don't know how I'm going to get through this. But now that you have gotten through it, one way or another, you look back and say, even though I didn't like what happened, that was good for me. And somehow you might be able to see that God was with you. That's faith. You can't see God, but somehow there was some strength that we call God that you got through it. To me, that's the easiest part. Now look at the present. Are you going through any hard times right now? I hope not, but some of us are. Health problems or job problems or relationship problems or whatever. And you wonder, how am I going to get through this? Can you believe, do you have the faith to accept that even though you can't see God, it's part of the invisible, that somehow God is with you now? To believe that's faith. And then what about the future? Probably all of us are going to go through some hard times in the future. As far as I know, no one of us is going to get out of this life alive. Can we believe, trust, that whatever the future holds, that God will be with us? That's faith. Realizing that God is not visible in the world, but God is visible through us. We're the image and the presence of God. That we show the presence of God to others by accepting that presence in our words and actions. Not our thoughts, but in our words and actions. What we celebrate here is just the foundation. We take this, we live it in our daily lives. That's faith. Thank you for watching this week's homily here at St. Elizabeth Ann Seton. We invite you to join us for liturgy any weekend that you might be in the area. You can contact us at mysaintelizabeth.com or on Facebook. Thank you very much.